basically two questions. First, you mentioned about the situation there, the rule of jungle, not the rule of law in Gaza. Can you tell us what is the security there for the UN operations, given the fact that 2 days ago, just 70% of a convoy has been looted by what you described as criminals? And second, my colleague Gabriel asked you the question on the possible ceasefire. But my question here is, given the fact you describe all the situation, how much time do you think the ceasefire could make a difference? 6 weeks? Can 6 weeks really make a difference? And second, you mentioned about the trucks. It's not a good strategy to contain the trucks. It's a quality. But there's such a destruction there. Do you think that there's even a possibility to get in 600 trucks in the beginning of the ceasefire? Thank you.
So the security situation is something that we have seen deteriorating already in the past. You might remember there was a moment where we were already saying that there was a breakdown of law and order. Unfortunately, something that we have to deal with because we do not have control over that. The reality is that we've seen not only systematic targeting of the police in Gaza, and so the system has completely disappeared, and hence given the space to either powerful families or criminals or whatever is remaining of the authorities in situ. I think it is super important for us to discuss with the communities and explain them. The only reason why we have been able to stay and deliver is because, to some degrees, we have preserved community acceptance. And we have to discuss with the communities, explain them how we operate, why we do things in a way we do it, in order for them to ensure that our operations are somehow protected and viable. Would we lose that space? It won't be possible for us to operate any longer, for us and for our partners. The 600 trucks, it's a good question. I think it is challenging. As I said earlier, it's not about quantity, it's about quality, but even the quantity is a problem, of course. And that will require a gigantic effort combined of private sector and the United Nations and the partners all together, the humanitarian community, because it is a very, very ambitious target that will only be viable if we have, the fact that there is no combat is already something that will allow us to use better the daylight time and more efficiently the resources. Potentially, if all the bottlenecks and the challenges that we are facing inside would be solved, the number of assets available with probably some injection of additional trucks will allow us to do multiple rotation that will bring us to the 600. But we won't be able to do it on day one, and we certainly won't be able to do it without the collaboration and the coordinated effort with the private sector.